Was there a UFO at the crucifixion of Jesus? More specifically, does the New Testament teach that there was a UFO at the crucifixion of Jesus? Is there more to this UFO alien ET agenda woven into the New Testament, accompanying the great moments, if you will, in the life of Jesus? We saw that his birth and the annunciation of his birth was surrounded by UFO ET alien imagery. Is the crucifixion likewise filled with all that type of imagery? If you look at this piece of artwork, you can see two things in the piece of art that could only be described as UFOs, kind of dome-shaped saucer things with fire coming out of them. What could that possibly be in nature in the first century? So a real clue there in the artwork, and of course in other artwork we see similar things, but never so blatant as in the crucifixion of Christ. But wait, there's more. Let's actually go to the scripture itself. We're reading out of my book, Final Message of the Last Apostle, and I'm asking the question, what blocked out the sun and caused the earthquake at the resurrection? Because you see, when the 6th hour was come, there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour. Jesus cries out, Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani, my God, why have you forsaken me? He cries out with a loud voice, gives up the ghost, the veil of the temple's torn in two from top to bottom. Now, if you look at the original Greek, when the 6th hour was come, and that's not really 6 in the evening, I believe it's 3 o'clock, but at any rate, when the 6th hour was come, a shadow fell upon the land. A shadow fell. It wasn't darkness. It wasn't like daytime ended and darkness came. The literal rendering of the King James has been mangled, and intentionally so, in my opinion. Darkness didn't fall. Nighttime didn't come. What the passage says is that there was a shadow cast upon the land. The sun didn't set. The sun did not diminish in power at all. The language says that something blocked the sun, cast a shadow over the area for about 3 hours. What was it that would be large enough to block out the sun and cause a shadow to fall over such a large area? Let me know what you think. And to add intrigue to that, at the 9th hour, if you remember, the shadow started at the 6th hour, the shadow lasted till the 9th hour, and then at the 9th hour, as the shadow was withdrawing, Jesus cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me? So what made Jesus cry out? What made him cry out at the 9th hour? Why not the 8th? Why not the 7th? Why not the 10th? Well, we know from the text that the shadow lifted at the 9th hour, and the shade lifted because whatever was causing it went away. Whatever it was that was causing the shade departed, and it was this exit of the shade-causing object that upset Jesus so greatly. Jesus could see that thing that was causing the shadow to be cast upon the environs of Jerusalem. And when Jesus looked up and saw it leaving, he's like, whoa, 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 why are you forsaking me? It was the departure of that thing that cast the shadow that caused Jesus to say, why have you forsaken me? And literally what he said in the Greek was, why have you abandoned me and left me here? Something causing a great shadow. As soon as it leaves, Jesus says, yo, hey, why have you left me behind? Imagine that. That is staggering. When that shade-casting object left, Jesus cried out, why are you leaving me behind? He clearly expected to be taken away on board, whatever that was. So, what is it that you can see that's big enough to cast out the sun, block out the sun, cast a shadow? What is it that Jesus would expect to be taken away on? What is it that he'd be upset that he was left behind when it departed and the shadow with it? Well, let's look at some more at the text again and look a little bit more just to be sure. The veil of the temple was torn in two from the top to the bottom. rocks were broken, graves were opened, okay? That temple was as thick as a man's hand. That veil was as thick as a man's hand. In order for it to tear in two, and it's very clear it tore in two from top to bottom, that means that the foundation would have to drop out and cause it to rip top to bottom. Sideways motion wouldn't do it. It would have to be the foundation dropping, rip down the middle, or at least rip in two from top to bottom. So the temple veil rips, rocks crack open, and stones roll away from graves. It's a straightforward description of a seismic event. What's striking is that the event occurs at the same exact time that what was blocking out the sun left Jesus hollering, "Why are you leaving me?" It's apparent that the force caused by the object leaving was great enough to cause a localized earthquake. Sounds like some type of a gravitational force or some type of a great exhaust. And the temple was ripped from top to bottom. That's because the foundation shifted at the local earthquake, and that caused the veil to tear in two. Rocks were cracked open, more evidence of an earthquake. Graves had their stones rolled away, more evidence of an earthquake. If you put the text all together, you've got something huge blocking out the sun and causing shade to fall for about 3 hours. Then there's something withdraws. Jesus sees it withdraw, gets upset. The withdrawal of the huge object puts out such energy that a localized earthquake, strong enough to shift the foundations of the temple, break stone, and dislodge many grave doors, was produced. It was big enough to cast a shadow. It was big enough for Jesus to see it. It was big enough that he expected to be taken away on it. And its exit put off enough energy to cause an earthquake. An objective, modern 21st century mind would look at that and say, hot damn, that's a spaceship. Dramatic ET, alien, UFO imagery connected to another central event in the life of Jesus. Not only the birth, but now also the crucifixion. But wait, there's more. Stay tuned for the next video, where we'll ask, did a spacecraft roll away the stone on the resurrection morning? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, helping you to unwind your mind. Send me your comments. Let me know what you think. Helping you to indoctrinate yourself and encouraging you. Be excellent to each other.